There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Are we live? Yes, I think we're live. Let's make sure we're live. Let me make sure we're live. Let me make sure we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Let me make sure we are live. All right. Let's make sure we got everything all set up. All right. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Let's make sure we are live on the YouTubes. Live on the YouTubes. Let's make sure. Let's make sure. All right. Make sure. Beautiful. Okay. Audio works. Beautiful. All right. It works. Let's make sure that we have the X live. Are we live on the X? All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. We are live on the X. Perfect. Let's make sure we are live on the Twitch. We live on the Twitch. Yes, we are. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. All right. Bobo Beef says, howdy, hear you, Lima Charlie. Copy that. Thank you. Thank you, Bobo. Hope you're having a good day. All right. Perfect. Now let's make sure we got everything all set up here. Let's make sure. Boom. Get that there. All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Let's get this over here. Boom, right there. This little thing over here. Set up. All right. Let's get a share party going in the meantime. Let's get a share party going in the meantime. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Hold on one second. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's get ourselves all set up over here. Today's the 12th, Thursday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. All right. There we go. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Just getting the announcements out, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, fantastic Thursday. I know I am. I had a good one. Having a good one so far. You know what I mean? All right, let's see here. Let's see. All right. All right, there we go. Get that set up over there. This over here. All right, get this over here. All right. There we go. All right. Okay. There we are. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. Getting ourselves set up over here. Boom. Right there. All right. Get this over here. Bot right there. Get this put up over here. All right. Set that out. All right. We're good. We're good. Let's get this intro started. Let's get this intro started. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most, calling me DBL Nicks in the house, aka the Rainmaker. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot out of the cannon and she goes wee. Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times, she likes to hang out and go and get them ABCDs. She did call some wonderful stocks like CHOW, SGN, LHSW, and JDZG. We call her DBM Moms. All right. And that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So, good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. All right. So, yeah, that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So, before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And, of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So, be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. After all, we did call SGN, which ran up a nice 75%. 75% right there. We called SGN. SGN ran up a nice 75% right there. All right. LHSW ran up 61% right there. There we go. There we go. So that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. So there we are. There we are. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see. All right. Okay. So let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over here. So far, we got CHOW, which is currently up 75%, or at the very least shot up to 75%. Had a nice movement. Let's take a look at that one first. So, let's see here. So, CHOW currently on a bit of an uptrend, a little bit of a choppy one right here, a little bit of a choppy uptrend, up 68% as of now, but did have a nice run up 75% a little while ago. About 3 minutes ago, it just ran up 75%, so I'm keeping an eye on it right now. We're going to see what happens with it right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to see what happens. Let's see here. Bot right there. All right. As of now, CHOW, we're going to check and see if it has any news. All right. But let's get some support and resistance lines here first. Support and resistance lines. Bot right there. All right. So we got support at the 78-cent mark over here, and resistance at the 89-cent mark over here. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. So yeah, let's take a look at that right there. All right, CHOW, moving upwards, up 75%, ran up a nice 75% right there. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. FLYE came in just now. FLYE, not a lot of volume here. Looking at it, gappy, very gappy. So next thing we're gonna do over here, just keep an eye on it right here. Right now, made a big old red candle right here. Doesn't look like it has much in terms of the volume department right now. It is down 4%, 4% now. It was up 30%, but it is very, very choppy, very, very low volume, and very, very volatile. So, not a stonk that I'm necessarily interested in. Legal, good morning. Ski, SKC, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning to both of you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, ladies and gents. But yeah, FLYE, low volume, not very choppy, not very schmexy. FLYE, low volume, needs to break the choppiness and the VWAPA. Ladies and gentlemen, VWAPA. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Has some Q3 earnings unconfirmed due in 11 days on Monday, February 23rd after the market closes. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. Let's take a look at SGN. SGN. Let's get this little line over here. Looks like it has a bit of a descending wedge going on. Looks like it has a bit of a descending wedge going on. Real deal. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's get a share party going, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. All right. Ski asks SGN current thoughts. SGN, looking at it right now, it is up 45%. 45% as of now. Looks like it's forming a bit of a descending wedge and falling below the VWAP slightly. So as of now, with this stock, it looks like it's forming a bit of a descending wedge. Possibly, maybe. All right. It does have a 14 million float, which is a little bit heavy. Volume is 128 million. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. All right. As of now, let's get the support and resistance line over here. Bot right there. And we can see that the support is currently at 29 cents. Has resistance at 31 cents, which is also where the VWAP is. All right. And then it has more resistance at 33, then 35, then 39. So you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So, yeah, there we go. So, as of now, SGN needs to break above that descending wedge. Has the volume. It does have the volume for it. It has a 128 million volume and a 14 million float. So, the float is a bit heavy, but the volume is good. So, we got that going on right there. Let's see if it has any news. Let's see if it has any news as of now. SGN had filed a 13G, a Form 13G. So, Yeah, insider buying is going on with the stonk right here. A little bit of insider buying. So we'll see what happens there. But it does have a bit of a descending wedge. So if it can break above that descending wedge and break above the VWAP, it could potentially be schmexy. But as of now, I personally am going to hold off and see what happens here because it looks like it's still falling a little bit. So we'll see what goes on. We shall see what goes on with this stonk right here. All right. SGN needs to break above the VWAPA and the descending wedge. All right. I mean, it has the volume for it, but it just needs to curl. It just needs to curl off that descending wedge. And it looks like it's trying to. It looks like it could potentially be trying to. All right. Has to break above that VWAP. Has to break above that resistance line as well. That resistance at 31 cents. That is the first step. Has to hold above 29. Has to break above 31 as of now for it to be so much maxi to mia. We'll see what goes on there. JDZG. Let's take a look. All right, on a bit of a choppy uptrend, as you can tell over here. 20 million float, which is a bit heavy. 16 million volume. So again, it's moving up on some low volume. As of now, we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. JDZG. All right. All right. On the uptrend, needs to break, needs to remain friends with the trend All right, they're on the uptrend on low volume. So they got that going on right there. JDZG needs more volume. It is on the uptrend on some low volume, so we'll see what happens there. CHOW, how's CHOW holding up? Still on that uptrend, still moving up nicely. Okay, CHOW, CHOW, remaining friends with the trend. So we got that going on right there. CHOW remaining friends with the trend. It is currently above the VWAP and is having a bit of a healthier climb upward, right? So we got that going on right there. WORX, WORX. Let's take a look at that as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at that as well. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right. So as of now, yeesh. A little bit of a curlage upward over here, but it is still below the VWAP, so we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. Let's take a look over here, all the way back here. It did have a shot upward and then pulled back down, formed a bit of a pennant over here, all right? And then after that, curled back upward just a little bit, just a little teeny tiny bit over here. Made a bit of a descending wedge, and then after that, looks like it's curling off the descending wedge. So WORX, WORX has a 16 million float, 54 million volume, so the volume is looking good. It just has to break above that VWAP right there. So WORX, WORX, curling off the descending wedge, needs to break above the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right. Marty asks, good morning, DBL Next. Can you please check out CHOW? Of course we can. Mr. CHOW, Leslie CHOW. If you know where that's from, put in the chat. Because that is a great reference. That is a great reference. All right. So as of now, CHOW is holding above the support line at 78 cents and needs to break above 89 cents for it to be schmexy to mya. Needs to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Needs to break above that little trend line there. Needs to break above it, ladies and gentlemen. Needs to break above it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. 1 second. 1 second. All right. So, as of now, CHOW currently remaining friends with the trend. As of now, it's still on the uptrend slightly, but it looks like it's possibly consolidating, maybe a little bit. Possible consolidation. We'll see what happens. It's not overbought or oversold yet, so we got that going on right there. Has a float of 11 million. Volume is 46 million, so it does have the volume, ladies and gentlemen. It has the volume, so we'll see what goes on there, ladies and gents. We shall see what goes on there. All right, all right, all right. Give me 1 second. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Boom. 1 sec. All right. All right, all right, all right. Let's see here. All right. So, give me 1 second. All right. And yeah, there we go. Let's take a look at JDZG. JDZG, JDZG. Bop right there. All right. JDZG currently on the uptrend, but it looks like it's testing that little trend line there. So could it potentially maybe become possibly either a pennant or a descending wedge? It's possible. We'll see what happens. Up 53% as of now. A little bit overbought on the RSI, so we got that going on right there. Float is 20 million. Volume is 18 million, so it's moving up on low volume still. So JDZG, JDZG still moving up on low volume. Can it remain friends with the trend? We'll have to see. We'll have to see, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see. All right. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. VTAC, VTAK, VTAK. Oh, excuse me. VTAK. There we are. All right. Little bit of a pennant going on right there. A little bit of a pennant going on right there. All right. But it doesn't look like it has much in terms of the volume department. VTAC has a 2 million float, 1 million volume. all right, is below the VWAP as of now. Also has to break above this pennant. So VTN is down 6%, so it needs a lot of volume. So VTAK needs volume to break the pennant, and the VWAPA needs volume to break those two things right there. Otherwise, not too schmexy to mya. PRHI. Let's see how that's doing. A lot of choppiness, a lot of consolidation. You could tell by looking at these areas over here. Actually, hold on. Let me get this over here. This area here and this area over here, both of which are very, very choppy. Not looking too schmexy as of now. Looks like it's way below the VWAP and also very, very choppy and consolidated. So we got that going on right there. It needs volume. PRHI needs a lot of volume to break the consolidation, the choppiness, and the VWAPA. All right, for it to be so much mexy to mya. There we go. Let's take a look back at SGN. SGN curling off the descending wedge right over here. Broke the VWAP. That's what I like to see right there. SGN curling off the descending wedge. Curling off the descending wedge bull pattern and breaking the VWAPA, which is a beautiful thing. Let's hope it stays above that VWAP. It needs to stay above that VWAP, up 56%. That's excellent. Has to test the next resistance at 35 cents and has to hold that 33-cent support right there for it to be so much mexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's take a look at WORX. WORX, how's it doing? WORX also curling above the descending wedge right now and testing the VWAP right there. WORX testing the VWAP. WORX testing the VWAPA. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Boom, right there. All right. So yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? LHSW. LHSW. Let's see how that's going on right there. LHSW. Looks like it's on a bit of a downtrend right now. Looks like it's on a bit of a downtrend. Bop right there. Has to break that downtrend and has to break the VWAP. Has H1 earnings unconfirmed 4 and 12 days from now on Tuesday, February 24th, before the market opens, up 43%. But as of now, needs to break that downtrend and has to break the VWAPA for it to be so much mexy to mya. There we go. There we go. LHSW needs to break the downtrend and the VWAPA for it to be so much mexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, all right, all right. So that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on so far. Hold on. So let's see. NVCR. NVCR. Let's see how that's doing. All right. It's on a bit of an uptrend right now, but NVCR does look like it has low volume. Has a 71 million float, which is very, very heavy. Volume is 1 million. So as of now, it has a bit of a odd little congregation over here. So it's got this right here, right? And it has a bit of this going on right here. So could it potentially maybe be a flat top breakout? Maybe. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, not something that looks too schmexy to me. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens there. Q4 earnings confirmed in 14 days from now on Thursday, February 26th, before the market open. It is up 32%. NVCR needs to break above that pennant and also needs to break and just stay above the VWAPA as well right there. It is moving up on some very low volume, so we got that going on right there. NVCR moving up on low volume. So we have that going on right there. Needs to break above the pennant for it to be so much mexy to mya. But as of now, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's take a look at something else here. Let's take a look at something else. Let's see. 1 second. Let me just go into the requests over here. Let's see here. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Okay, well, let's see here. All right, you know what? Let's continue with CHOW. Mr. Chow, Leslie Chow. All right, let's see how Chow is doing. Let's take a look at Chow. Hold on 1 second. Currently, Chow is forming a bit of a descending wedge as well, right over here. There we go. So CHOW up 65% right there. 65% needs to break above the resistance line over at 78 cents. Has to also break above the resistance at 89 cents, but for now, 78 cents is the price that it has to break so far. After that, and it has to hold above 71% or 71 cents, excuse me, has to hold above 71 cents, has to break through 78 cents for it to be Schmexy Tumya, needs to break above this descending wedge right over here. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. CHOW needs to break above the descending wedge and the resistance line. Has to break above those two things right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 400. 400, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 400. Yes, sir. So let's take a look over here. WORX. How's WORX holding up? All right. WRX still holding up, but it looks like it's kind of falling. Oh wait, no, never mind. It's like it's trying to stay up right now, but it's like pulling back a little bit, pulling back slightly. Possibly, we'll see what happens there. Has to break above that 25-cent mark over there to break the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. So it has to break above that VWAP right there. But it doesn't look like the 9 EMA is exactly intersecting with it as of now. It's still very much so below it, but it looks like it's trying to curl up towards it. So we'll see what happens there. But as of now, this is one of those things that WRX, it needs to really just break above this little pennant right over here. Needs to break above this little pennant right here for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. WORX needs to break above the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Let me get some water in me, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 500, and I'll be right back. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right. There we go. I'm back. Alrighty. All right. Yes. Give me 1 sec. Yes. All right. SGN. Let's see here. SGN as of now forming a bit of a double top over here at the 34-cent mark. Has to break above that 34-cent mark for it to be so much Mexi Tumya. There we go. All right. SGN needs to break above the double top for it to be so much Mexi Tumya. Has to break above that 34-cent mark and then break through 35 cents right there. So it has to break that double top for it to be so much Mexi Tumya Right now, it is currently up 61%. Can it continue to curl? Can it continue to curl? We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. JDZG. Let's see how JDZG is doing right here. JDZG forming a bit of a pennant right here. All right. Currently above the VWAPA, but it has to break above this pennant right here. It is at 54% right now. JDZG needs to break above the pennant for it to be so much maxi to nya. There we go. LHSW. Let's see how it's doing. It looks like it's trying to curl slightly, a little bit. Maybe. Possible curlage, but we'll have to see for sure. It is up 45%. Again, has unconfirmed H1 earnings for 12 days from now on Tuesday, February 24th, before the market opened. So LHSW, possible attempt to curl, needs to break that VWAP. LHSW, possible attempt to curl off the downtrend, needs to break above the VWAPA for it to be so much maxi to nya. Let's take a look back at CHOW. CHOW. Let's see here. Still needs to break that descending wedge right there. CHOW still needs to break that descending wedge. All right. CHOW still needs to break that descending wedge right there for it to be so much maxi to nya. There we go. LHSW needs to curl above the little downtrend there. We'll see what goes on there. LHSW, can it curl? Let's see. Can it curl? We shall see. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting right up to 9 o'clock. We're getting right up to the 9 o'clock hour. So we'll be there soon. SGN. Let's see how it's doing. It still needs to break that double top. As of now. All right. SGN still needs to break the double top right there for it to be so much maxi to nya. Yes, sir. All right, let's get a share party going. Let's get to 600, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 600. Yes, sir. All right, there we go. All right, JDZG. All right, looks like it's trying to test the pennant right now. Trying to test that pennant. We'll see what happens with JDZG. It looks like it's trying to test that pennant. JDZG trying to test the pennant right there. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. CHOW. All right. Looks like it's trying to break above that. It broke above the resistance line at 78 cents, but now it's trying to break through the descending wedge as well. So we'll see what goes on there. CHOW broke the resistance line, trying to break above the descending wedge right there. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. All right, let's see what else we got. LHSW, how's that holding up? It's moving up slightly, a little bit of slight movement upward. We'll see what goes on there. We shall see what goes on there. LHSW, slightly moving up. It's slightly moving up there. We'll see what happens there. WRX. Needs to break that descending wedge. WRX. needs to break above the descending wedge right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right. Again, WRX has a 16 million float, 55 million volume. So we got that going on right there. JDZG has that holding up right there. How is that holding up? Looks like it's trying to test that pennant right there. We'll see what happens. JDZG. JDZG. All right. All right. JDZG needs to break above the pennant for it to continue to be schmexy to mya. There we go. Needs to break above that pennant right there. We shall see what happens. We shall see what happens right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ooh, give me a second. Just gotta stretch. Ooh, that's the stuff. Oh, yeah. All right. Okay. So, as of now, that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on. All right, and be sure, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scans for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check it out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot's the cash. Show the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right, all right, all right. So, that's what we got going on, baby. That's what we got going on. Yes, sir. All right. So, yeah, that's it. That's what we got going on right there. And ladies and gentlemen, when you get the real-time alerts and scanners for $9.99, you gain access to our amazing CNN War Room, which basically allows for our wonderful community to have some correspondence with one another. It basically allows them to kind of, congregate, meet new people, and basically, talk as a community, right? And share ideas, all sorts of cool stuff like that. It's very educational. It's amazing. It's awesome, ladies and gentlemen. It is awesome. So you got that going on right there. So yeah, be sure to check that out as well, because that is the War Room right there. You also gain access to our amazing scanners, one of which we have right here. We're showing you guys. It shows the ticker, the price, the volume, the float, the change in percentage, whether or not this ticker moves up or down, as well as the time in which it was scanned, hyperlinks for the scanners, so you can basically click on any of these links right here and you can get more information on the ticker of your choosing. So that way you can even get like access to the chart, you can get access to the news, you get access to all sorts of other things pertaining to the stock. All you'd have to do is click those little hyperlinks right over here. Also, ladies and gentlemen, you gain access to our amazing newsroom, which basically shows all this cool stuff right here, all this beautiful cool stuff right here, right? For example, it has all sorts of articles. You get an article synopsis over here. You get a hyperlink to the full article so you can read the full article. And you also get a ticker that is affected by the news within said article. That is also a hyperlink so you can click on it. You can get the chart, you get the news, you get the ticker, price, volume, float, etc. for the ticker. You get all that, all this information on this wonderful research tool right at the tip of your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gents. It's just cool like that. You also gain access to our amazing stock ticker tape, which basically shows all the tickers that we're keeping an eye on that are moving up quite a bit, right? So they're moving. We're keeping an eye on them. They're moving quite a bit. So yeah, it's basically us keeping an eye on those tickers. You also gain access to all sorts of other cool things as well. But if you also want to check out our Wealth Builders package, you get everything in the real-time alerts and scanners package plus more, all right? You basically gain access to an exclusive Wealth Builders chat, which allows you to congregate with your fellow Wealth Builders, all right, as well as us, Coach Nick Money, and myself. You get a direct line to us, so you can talk to us. You can ask questions. We help you, all that cool stuff. But also, you get access to even more scanners exclusive to the Wealth Builders, all right? You gain access to exclusive Wealth Builders content, such as exclusive Wealth Builders picks, exclusive Wealth Builders behind the scenes footage and content that we basically give out as well. We have behind the scenes scripts, access to those scripts. You also get access to all sorts of other cool stuff, like, for example, our wonderful course material with over 500 plus courses that teach how we trade and what works best for us. And again, like I said before, you also gain access to a direct line to Coach Nick Money and myself. And to top it off, you get access to our NASDAQ and OTC alert archives. So that is pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen. That is pretty cool, to be honest. So yeah, get access to all sorts of cool stuff, man. All sorts of cool stuff. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. So be sure to check it out. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 800. 800, ladies and gentlemen. 800. Let's see over here. CHOW. CHOW. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see over here. Bit of a descending wedge right over there. Bit of a descending wedge right over there. All right. But it looks like it's curling off that descending wedge. CHOW curling off the descending wedge, but has a bit of a double top right over here at the 84-cent mark. So we got that going on right there. CHOW. CHOW. All right. Needs, all right, curling off the descending wedge right there. Needs to break above the double top as well, which is a bit of a resistance line at 84 cents. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens there. SGN, let's see how SGN is doing. SGN had a bit of a double top, and then pulled itself back just a little bit. So it formed a bit of a descending wedge right over there. Needs to break above this VWAP right here. Needs to stay above it and needs to curl off this descending wedge right here. So SGN formed a descending wedge bull pattern off the double top. We shall see what happens there. Needs to break that double top resistance for it to be somewhat schmexy to ya. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. All right. Let's see about LHSW. LHSW. We'll see what goes on there. But right now, just consolidation as of now. LHSW consolidated. Consolidated. Let's put this right here. LHSW consolidated below the VWAPA. Needs more volume, ladies and gentlemen. Needs more volume for it to be somewhat schmexy to ya. So, yeah, let's get that done right there. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's see here. Let's see. All right. So, let's see. LHSW has a 68 million volume, 18 million float. So it has the volume for it, but it just really, really needs to curl its way on up, ladies and gents. That's what it needs to do. That's what it needs to do to be somewhat schmexy to ya. Otherwise, not feeling that one quite yet. Not feeling that one. We'll see what happens, though. We shall see what happens. All right, let's take a look at another stock here. Let's take a look at another one. All right, somebody requested NBIS, November Bravo India Sierra. All right, NBIS. Looks like it's a very expensive stock, so let's take a look over here. NBIS, a little bit pricey. It's 90 bucks currently. Not my kind of stock right here. Not my kind of stock personally. Not feeling this one quite frankly, but we shall see what goes on here. Did have a bit of a move upward earlier in the day, but then has since kind of moved back downward over here forming a possible descending wedge. Bull reversal, maybe. But with stocks like this, they're very expensive, and I bet this thing has a very high float. So let's take a look over here. The float is, yep, 213 million. Volume is 3.6 million. So not feeling this one, quite frankly. Not feeling this one. Needs to break above this descending wedge and needs a lot of volume. So NBIS as of now, NBIS expensive with low volume, needs to break above the VWAP and the descending wedge right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? What else we got? VKTX. Let's see how that actually. Let's take a look at CHOW first. CHOW. CHOW on the uptrend, still up 85% now. Broke through that high right there and is still climbing its way on up. CHOW. CHOW on the uptrend, now up 85%, moving up nicely. 87% now, actually. 87%. There we go. Can it become a bagger? We shall see. We shall see, ladies and gentlemen. CHOW has the volume for it. It does have the volume for it. So we'll see what goes down. We shall see what goes down. All right. In the meantime, let's take a look at this other stock right here while we wait for CHOW to do its thing. Let's take a look at VKTX. VKTX, very, very choppy. Slight uptrend, I suppose, off of the VWAP, but nothing really to write home about. It's not really much. VKTX is also a bit expensive, 33 bucks and change per share, so it is a bit expensive, up 16%, and it's probably a very heavy floated stock. Yep, 94 million change for float. Volume is 407,000, so it's very low volume. So VKTX needs way more volume to stay above the VWAPA and become even remotely schmexy to meow. Let's see what we got going on there. VKTX. Let's take a look back at CHOW. See how CHOW is. CHOW. All right, CHOW pulling back a little bit, forming a bit of a top tail. We don't like the top tails, ladies and gentlemen. We like the bottom tails. But it looks like it's pulling back a little bit for a possible major comeback we might see. Maybe we'll see what happens. Possible pullback for major comeback. We shall see. So CHOW as of now. CHOW. Can it remain friends with the uptrend? We shall see. All right. Let's take a look at SGN in the meantime. SGN currently curling above that descending wedge right there. Take a look. Boom, right there. All right, there we go. Let's take a look. All right, and it curled above the 33-cent mark, which is resistance. So SGN broke the descending wedge. SGN broke above the descending wedge and the resistance line right there. Looks like it could potentially be forming a double top, though. We'll have to see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We will have to see what happens here. Has to break above 34 cents for it to be schmexy to meow. Remember, 34 cents is the resistance line right there. It's a bit of a resistance line. All right. It's also a point of consolidation. So we'll have to see what happens. It's a double top. We shall see what happens. Let's see if it breaks through 34 cents. for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. JDZG. Let's see how that's doing right there. JDZG fell below the pennant right there. Fell below the pennant. So we got that going on right there. Let's see if it can break above the descending wedge, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if it can break above the descending wedge. JDZG needs to break above the descending wedge right there for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? Let me add them. Let me add them. All right. NVCR. All right. It looks like it's still curling its way on up, so let's get rid of this. It's still on an uptrend right here. So we got that going on right there. Has confirmed Q4 earnings due in 14 days on February 26th, Thursday, before the market opened. Up 34%, up 34%, NVCR. So it is still on an uptrend. It is still somewhat bullish right there. All right. Still on the uptrend and slowly climbing. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? WORX. Let's see how that's going right there. WORX. All right. Let's see. All right. Looks like it formed a bit more of a pennant over here, just below the VWAP. Still needs to break that VWAP. But as of now, has a bit of a resistance right over here at the 23 cent line. So we'll see what happens there. Has to break above 23 cents. Has to break above the pennant as well. So WORX needs to break the pennant and the VWAP for it to become somewhat schmexy to mya. There we go. There we go. All right. Needs to break the pennant, double top, and the VWAP for it to become somewhat schmexy to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see how JDZG is holding up. JDZG. Oh, how's Chow doing? CHOW moving. Oh my, it is moving. It is moving up 85%. Up 85%. CHOW moving. Chow is moving up 85% right now. CHOW moving up 85% and climbing, baby, climbing. It is on the uptrend. It is above that double top. It broke through that resistance right there and is moving, ladies and gentlemen. Moving and grooving. It's looking schmexy, ladies and gents. It has to break above that 90-cent mark right there for it to really become schmexy to mya. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on.
Bottom middle red. Come on, green.
All right, green. Yes, sir.
Come on, greenage.
Come on.
Come on, green.
Oh, yeah. All right. Again, has an 11 million float, 66 million volume. So the volume is 6 times higher than that of the float, which is excellent. That's awesome. All right. Let's take a look and see here. Let's see what news they got going on right there. Let's see. They're an information technology stock. So they got that going on right there. They did do a lot of form movement there. So we got that going on right there. A lot of forms that were filed a couple days ago. So we got that going on right there. That's what we got going on right there. All right. And let's see here. CHOW still trying to move its way on up. Still trying to remain friends with the trend. So we got that going on right there. All right, that's what we got going on right there. All right. Needs to also break above this little area right here, but moving has to break above that 87-cent mark.
Break the resistance. Break it.
Yeah, there's a bit of resistance.
Cents. Come on now. 87 cents. Come on now.
Yeah, it needs to break that 87-cent mark right there. That's what it needs to do.
Break it.
Yes, sir.
Break it. You own it.
Yes, sir. Needs to break above 87 cents. That is the resistance.
You own it.
That is the resistance right there, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on now. All right. Gasolina. Yes, sir. Gasolina. All right. There we go. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Even Stu is along for the ride. Look at him. Look at him. He's doing his thing right there. Stay away. There he is. There he is, running up top there. He's trying to climb the mountain. He's trying to climb the mountain. Has to break above 87 cents. CHOW. CHOW. You know what? Let me draw some like little pom-poms in his hand here. He's cheering it on right now. He's cheering it on. There you go. You got the little pom-poms. All right? There you go. He's cheering on the stonk. He's cheering on the stonk right there. All right. All right. Looks like he's cheering on that stock. Has to break above the 86-cent line. 86 cents. Has to break above that and break above 87 as well for it to really be schmexy to meow, which it looks like it's trying to. It looks like it's trying to test that high.
It needs volume.
Needs volume. Needs more volume to break above that double top. All right. CHOW needs more volume to break the resistance.
It's
right there.
moving.
And it's moving up 86%. All right. There we go. There we go. Broke through 87. Now 88. Now it's 88 cents. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's climbing. Climbing up. Climbing on up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. Let's see here. Yesh. Yeah. All right. There we go. All right. So, CHOW 83%, still above that double top though, and it's up 88 cents now, climbing, slowly climbing. Has to break above that 88-cent mark there. Has to break above it a little bit. It's still facing a little bit of resistance, but that's okay. Just has to break above that 88-cent mark. Has to break it. It keeps testing it. It keeps testing the resistance. CHOW testing resistance right now. It's testing. All right, CHOW testing resistance right there. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. Yes, sir. All right, give me 1 second. There we go. All right, CHOW now fighting its way above that 88-cent mark. It's still climbing. It wants to break it. It's testing the high of day at 90 cents over there as well. It's testing that 90-cent high of day. So we'll see what goes on there. CHOW testing the high of day. Can it break through? We shall see. All right, let's get a share party going. Let's get the 1500. We shall see what happens there, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what goes on. In the meantime, let's check out the other stonks. We shall check out the other stonks. SGN. Let's see how it's going. All right, moving up there. Broke the double top a little bit. SGN. So we got that going on right there. All right. There we go. Okay. So we got that going on right there. All right. It is now 9:20. 10 minutes till the bell. The bell. It deafens me. All right. Yes. All right. Let's see here. JDZG needs to break above that descending wedge. Looks like it's trying to break above the descending wedge right now. JDZG trying to break the descending wedge. It needs to break that VWAP as well. JDZG trying to break above the descending wedge. Needs to break the VWAPA for it to become even schmexier to nya. Yes, that's what it needs to do. Yesh, yesh, yesh. Let's see about PRCH. PRCH, let's see how it's doing. Very choppy. Not feeling this one. Lot of chop over here. Right? Got some chop over here. More chop over here. Even more chop around here. And some more chop right here. All right? Had a bit of an uptrend over here. But again, PRCH very, very choppy. So it does have 67 million float, 65,000 volume. Not feeling too schmexy about that one. PRCH, very choppy with low float. I mean low volume, not float. Low volume. Very choppy with low volume right there. So you got that going on right there. Let's get a share party going. Let's get the 1500. 1500, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. All right. Consistency asked for TTD. TTD. We'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens there. All right. This is the trade desk in Class A common stock, up 0.33%. Up 0.33%. Let's get this out over here. So right off the bat, I see a couple of indecisive wicks over here. That tells me that this is very low in terms of volume. So it's got that going on right there. Very low volume as of this time. So TTD, as of now, the trade desk Inc. Let's take a look and see what type of news it has. It does have confirmed Q4 earnings in 13 days on Wednesday, February 25th, after the market closed. So we got that going on right there. Let's take a look and see about any other news. All right, TTD has a float of 437 million, which is extremely heavy. Volume is 248,000. So that is extremely light. So there you go, right there. That's pretty much that. All right, we're going to take a look and see about news. TTD has formed Schedule 13Gs there. So you got that going on as well. But it is very low volume. So TTD, very low volume, needs volume to break the choppiness. All right. A lot of indecisive wicks there. Not feeling too schmexy about it. Let's take a look at DUOL. Let's take a look over there. See what we got going on here. This was another request by consistency. So let's take a look over here. All right. Indecisive wicks here. One over here. All right. More over here. All right. With one there. All right. And then afterwards, more over here and one over here. So that's what we got going on. That is for Duolingo. And by the way, the bird from Duolingo terrifies me. I'm going to just say that flat out. Duolingo bird terrifies me. That bird just scares me. I don't know why. It just makes me feel uneasy. It stares into the depths of your soul. I don't mess with it. I don't mess with that bird. I'm sorry. Any bird that stares into the depths of your soul, I'm not messing with him. Sorry. Ain't happening. DUOL. That bird finds out that the stock doesn't have much volume. All right. Let's see. DUOL needs volume to break the choppiness. All right, I want to type, please don't go after me, Duolingo bird, because that bird scared me. That bird scared me. Yeesh. So that's what we got going on right there. CART. All right. CART, very, very low flow, very low volume. Tell by looking at these indecisive wicks right over here. Is up 0.97%. Conference call scheduled today at 5 o'clock p.m. has some Q4 earnings confirmed after the market closed today. So we got that going on as well. That is what we got going on. All right. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the overview. Float is 108.5 million. Volume is 2.8 thousand. So very, very low volume, very, very heavy float, not looking schmexy. All right. Basically, after that, it has some news that came out on Wednesday that states that, they collaborated with Lush Cosmetics to provide same-day delivery across U.S. and Canada. And Instacart partnered with Lush, which is basically, that's basically what they got going on right there for CART. They partnered with Toast and Instacart, and they announced a strategic partnership supporting restaurants and realtors. And yeah, they also decided to bring some fresh handmade cosmetics to customers in as fast as 1 hour. So they got that going on as well. That is what they got going on. They do have a conference call scheduled for today at 5 o'clock p.m. Q4 earnings have been announced and confirmed after the market close today. So we'll see what happens there. But as of now, CART doesn't have much volume. CART needs more volume for it to be so much schmexy to Mya. CART needs more volume for it to be so much schmexy to Mya. There we go. Let's see about PMI. How's PMI holding up? PMI price spike, presumably off some low volume. Yes, it is. Float is 66 million. Volume is 4 million. So we got that going on right there. Needs to break this double top at the 270 mark right there. So there we go. All right. As of now, PMI up 50%. All right. Needs to break that double top. PMI shot up 60% actually on low volume. Needs to break above the double top. There we go. LHSW. Not looking too schmexy there. Let me get rid of this. And let me just put this instead right here. All right. So, LHSW needs to break above that downtrend. We are just 1 minute away from the bell. The bell! It deafens me. All right. Just 1 minute away. 1 minute away from the bell. LHSW still needs to break that downtrend now. LHSW still needs to break above the downtrend. There we go. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Yes, sir. So LHSW needs to break above that downtrend for it to be so much maxi to Mya. There we go. 'Abdul Muhammad says for today.
3 seconds. 2
All right,
seconds.
2
The
seconds.
bell!
2 seconds. The bell! It deafens me. Alex says today's a real slow day. Took one small trade on SGN earlier and looking like I may not take another. Again, patience.
Chow moving!
Chow is moving. Oh
move,
my.
Baby, move. Push
Oh
it, baby,
my.
Gasolina.
Ooh.
Warning.
All right. CHOW.
Come on, baby.
CHOW right there.
Come on. Don't give up.
Hold on.
Oh,
come on there.
Tease. What a tease.
Man. Has to break above that descending wedge.
Chow's annoying, bro.
Yeah, Chow's annoying. Chow is very annoying. Has to break above that 99-cent high a day right there. Has to break above that 99-cent high a day. All right, so as of now, that's what we got going on right there. All right, so CHOW.
Chow moving again.
Yep. It looks like it's curling off a descending wedge.
Teasing.
It's teasing.
What a teaser.
It's teasing.
What a little tease.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, bro.
Has a bit of a...
Come on, bro.
Has a bit of resistance at the 87-cent mark right over here.
Come on, bro.
Can it break that 87-cent mark right there? Yes, we need to see it break that 87-cent mark. CHOW. Trying to curl off the new descending wedge right there. CHOW curling off the descending wedge. Needs to break the high of day. All right. Abdullah says for now. What is for now? What do you mean? Yeesh. All right. All right. All right. So CHOW, as of now, looks like it's doing its thing right there. But up, looks like it's pulled back down. Looks like it's fighting to hold that little level right there. Has to hold above the support line at 79 cents right there. Has to hold above 79 cents for it to be schmexy to mya. But CHOW needs to break above that downtrend right there. Well, not even downtrend, just the descending wedge. It needs to break above the descending wedge. Alex says all the volume is in FSLY. Let's take a look at FSLY then. FSLY, let's see how it's doing. Ooh, FSLY currently shot up like a rocket. Has news that Fastly shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q4 financial results and issued a fiscal year 2026 and Q1 guidance above estimates. So we got that going on right there. That is what they got going on. Let's take a look. All right, FSLY. Let's take a look at the float. Float is 140 million and change, very heavy. Volume is 11.7. Actually, I call it 11.8 million. 11.8 million. So the volume is extremely low. Float is extremely high. Not a schmexy look for the stock. Not schmexy. It has news that they have.
Chow is moving.
Oh, Chow's moving.
Chow is moving. Chow is moving.
All right.
Come on, Chow.
All right.
What the heck? 87 cents is a problem.
Oh my. Yep. Yeesh. 1 second. There we go. Let's take a look at Chow. CHOW. Curling off that descending wedge, testing the double top, and it's pushing. It's pushing. There we go. There we go. Curling off the descending wedge once again.
90 cents. Come
on. Can it break that high a day? CHOW. CHOW needs to break through the high of day, curling above.
It's breaking!
Oh my God!
Oh, migration!
CHOW now 100% new bagger. CHOW new bagger up 100%. 100%, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Look at that. Look at that right there.
Look at it.
Oh my, and it looks like it's testing the high of day once again. New high of day at 95 cents. New high of day at 95 cents. Looks like it's testing
migration.
it. CHOW.
Oh, migration.
Broke the high of day. Up 100%. New bagger. 108.
It broke it.
108. There we go. 108%. New bagger. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. New bagger, baby. Yeesh. All right, all right, all right, all right. There we go. All right. Let's see here. New resistance is at 99 cents. New resistance line is at 99 cents there, but it's breaking above it right now. CHOW shot up to 108%. New bagger, ladies and gentlemen. CHOW shot up nicely, up 108%. 108%. Let's see. Thank you, communist. You steal my pens. All right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, she do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, she do.
Yes,
108%. 108%. Yes, Comrade
How
Stalin.
wonderful.
Thank you.
How wonderful. It's wonderful, Doubles. It's wonderful.
DBL Moms is stealing my pens.
It's on your desk. I'm gonna
Yeah,
just
it's
very
on my
salty,
desk and she keeps stealing them.
She's salty, Doubles.
She
She's
steals
salty.
them. She steals them. I tell you, she steals them. Stealing.
She's salty.
She's stealthy, salty. CHOW, new bagger, up 108%. 108%. There we go. All right, there we go. All right. Yes, sir. All right, so what other stunks do we have today? What are the stunks we got going on, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. All right. Let's take a look at SGN in the meantime. SGN. See how SGN is doing. Let's see how it's doing. All right. SGN needs to break that double top at 34 cents, but looks like it's pulling back off that double top. Fell below the VWAP, not looking too schmexy as of now. SGN not looking too schmexy as of now. So SGN fell below the VWAP. SGN formed a double top and fell below the VWAP. Can it curl? Let's see. We shall see. All right, let's take a look at FLX. Let's see how FLX is doing. FLX, very choppy. Not feeling this one. Not schmexy. Take a look over here, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look over here, and you shall see choppiness right here. Choppiness right here. A lot of choppiness right here. Even down here. There's a lot of choppiness with the stock. So FLX low volume. FLX needs volume. Needs volume. Very choppy. So FLX very choppy, needs volume. Not looking too schmexy. Let's take a look over here. PMI. Let's take a look here. PMI looks like it's forming a bit of a pennant right there. So we shall see what goes on. Right there. All right. So, yeesh. PMI needs to break that pennant right there. PMI needs to break the pennant for it to become somewhat schmexy to me. Needs to break the pennant and the VWAP. And needs more volume, ladies and gentlemen. Needs more volume too. Needs more of that. Yes, sir. All right. So, yes, that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We were just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our wonderful and amazing 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners, where we have all sorts of amazing features. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We're just made different, and the early bird gets the worm. As you saw, we called CHOW prior to that 108% run. CHOW prior to that 108% run. Alex says NCI halted. Okay, halted. There we go. NCI halted as of now. All right. And NCI, looking at it right now, let's take a look here. Had a float of 480,000. Volume was 1.4 million, which is good, but again, very low float, or very low volume, excuse me. Yeah, actually, no, very low float. So it's one of those low float stocks. NCI doesn't really have much news other than the fact that it created a Form 6. So we got that going on right there. But other than that, it did have a price spike over here. NCI price spike right there. NCI price spike. There we go. That's what we got going on right there. NCI major price spike. So yeah. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. Of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We were just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Like to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section, so be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And of course, be sure to, all right, we called quite a few baggers today. SGN, we called it prior to that 75% run. LHSW prior to 61% move. CHOW prior to that 108% run. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw that here first on the stream. Can't nobody do it like us, man. Always. What's the saying? Always impersonated, never duplicated.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Basically, often
copied, never, often replicated, never. No. Often duplicated, never replicated.
Yeah, something like that. Often duplicated, never replicated. All right, nobody can do it like us. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nobody do it like us.
No, can't nobody do it like us. All right, can't nobody call.
T-moves, baby.
Hey, they're the T-moves. Yeah, exactly. They're the T-moves. They're the
T-moves.
T-moves. All right, they're the T-moves. I'm just saying. They are. Yeah, they're the T-moves right there.
Take the course and learn.
Yeah, come and take the course and actually learn something for a change.
Let's educate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Educate you, invigorate you.
Yeah, educate you, invigorate you, and actually give you an education.
Make you for real.
Yeah, actually make you for real and maybe give you a brain, hopefully. Okay, we can only hope, right? Anyways, but, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we got going on right there, all right? Called CHOW on the stream for you right there in front of your faces, ladies and gentlemen. You see it. So be sure to check that 4-day trial out. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. And with it, you will gain access to the CNN War Room, which basically is where the community congregates and talks to each other, and gives each other ideas, all sorts of other cool stuff, and basically says, hey, it's a good place to basically congregate. It's educational. It's an educational sphere of wonderful people who like to help each other and like to grow together and like to make money. Because what's better than making money? Making money with other people and sharing the love, sharing the joy as a community. So we got that going on right there. You also get access to our amazing scanners, like the market mover scanner right over here, which basically shows you the ticker price, volume, float, change in percentage, as well as whether the ticker is moving up or down, the time in which it was scanned, hyperlinks to basically give more information on the ticker that we're taking a look at right there. Like, for example, if you wanted to click on CHOW, boom, you can click on CHOW. You get access to the graph of it. You get access to the news for it. You get access to the information for it, all at the tip of your fingers and at the push of a button, ladies and gentlemen. All that. It's a wonderful research tool. And you also gain access to our amazing newsroom, which basically gives you the news and the article, the synopsis of the article, right? Something, a little bit of reading material, you know what I mean? A little bit of reading material for the article for research. And you also gain access to the hyperlink to the full article, because it only gives you a synopsis. If you want to click on the full article, you get the full article. You can read the full article. And to top it off, you also gain access to the ticker that is affiliated with the news within said article. You get a hyperlink for that, so you could actually learn more about that ticker. You can get access to the chart, the news, the float, volume, etc. Everything. Everything, ladies and gentlemen. And all you got to do is get that 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners, and just keep it. Hold on to it, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on to it. You know what I mean? Always good. Always good. It's a wonderful research tool. A newsroom, a wonderful research tool there as well. Stock ticker tape is basically where we keep an eye on the stonks. Keep an eye on all the stonks that are moving nicely, right? Most of the time, keeps an eye on the parabolics. Keeps an eye on the stocks that are moving nicely. Keeps an eye on all sorts of cool stocks. And you also get hyperlinks there as well to the stock, so you can learn more about it. And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, what else you do? You get access to all sorts of cool stuff, ladies and gents. That's it. That's it. That's the whole show right there. All right? And to top it off, ladies and gentlemen, if you want, you can join the Wealth Builders. Marty says, I love the Discord. Well, we love you. We love you, Marty. That's what we love. That's what we love right there. All right? All right, and if you join the Wealth Builders, you get everything, all the access to everything in the real-time alerts and scanners, plus, of course, the Wealth Builders package, which gives you Wealth Builders exclusive content, such as the Wealth Builders exclusive chat, where you can congregate with other Wealth Builders as part of that community, and you also get a direct line to us. You get a direct line to us, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You also get access to even more scanners, right? Even more scanners than you originally would as a real-time alerts and scanners guy. All right. And of course, to top it off, you gain access to our amazing exclusive course material with over 500 plus videos of course material that we've created over the years that shows how we trade and what works best for us. A direct line to Coach Nick Money and myself. Exclusive content such as Wealth Builders exclusive picks, Wealth Builders exclusive access to our scripts, and Wealth Builders access to our behind the scenes footage, and especially that course. The course has over 500 plus videos of content for you to listen to, understand, and learn how we trade and what works best for us. And you get a direct line to us, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you got going on right there. That is what you got going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Much love. Take care of yourselves. You can find us on our YouTube channel at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streaming, lots of videos, lots of stock analysis, lots of stock reviews, etc. You can find us there. You can find us doing shorts there as well. All sorts of cool stuff. You can find all that at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money. You can find us on our X.com, aka Twitter, at Coaching Money. Where we do lots of live streams, lots of stock reviews and stock analysis as well there, and news too. We put up some news there as well. And ladies and gentlemen, you can also find us on our Twitch at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, where we do lots of live streams. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coaching Money. At Coaching Money, and you can find us on our TikTok, tiki-taki, aka the Tac Tac. The Tac Tac. You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL NICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on right there. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for 1:30 p.m. for the Power Plays show. It's a wonderful show that takes place before Power Hour each day, hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, who, by the way, has gotten 3 dubs in a row. I'm just saying, 3 dubs in a row yesterday. Got 3 dubs. 3 dubs, doublification right there. All right. And basically what he does is he takes a look at the stock market before Power Hour, gives his honest reviews and stock analysis on those amazing tickers right there, and then lets them simmer on high heat for a couple minutes there as he gets a dub in the Fortnite, gets some dubs in Fortnite for the community, for the people, for the culture. You know what I mean? He does it for the culture. All right. And of course, he does that, gets some dubs for the community. And then, yeah, he basically just does that, keeps an eye on the stock market, gives an honest review of the stonks, and then, get some dubs. Get some dubs on the Fortnite. That's what he do. And of course, I'll be there. I'll be the co-host, of course. And yeah, you can find us there on our Facebook. Actually, no, not our Facebook. You can find us there on our YouTube, Twitch, and our X. All right, all of which are at Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money.
At Coaching Money, so you can find the show there. So yeah, be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Much love. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys at 1:30 for Power Plays. Much love, everybody. It's Double Nicks. I love you guys. I'm here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around in the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Other times she likes to regular ski. Other times she gets shot out the cannon and she goes, whee! Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go to Wendy's. Sometimes she'll go to Mickey D's. Other times she'll go to Burger King. And of course, she loves to steal my lo mein. We call her DBM Moms! Yes. And of course, she loves to find them ABCD. She did call CHOW, LHSW, SGN, and JDZG. Yeah. We call her DBM Moms. There we go. So that's pretty much it for me. Much